Welcome back to Lotus on Track, and the Lotus Cup Europe action continues, this time at the Hockenheim Grand Prix circuit, where a huge field of 26 cars took to the track for what proved to be a very tense, exciting qualifying session. Nicolas Ibsen making the early running, but late in the session begun to swing back in favour of Jonathan Walker, who eventually hit Ibsen to pole position by just half a second, with Gregory Rass completing the top three in the standings, and then Thierry Verheest rounding out the second row of the grid.
We're here at Hockenheim in Germany doing the Lotus Cup Europe. We just finished the qualification and I'm quite happy I'm second.
Really pleased to be on pole position here at Hockenheim on a lovely Saturday afternoon, and it's great that Nikolai's got one of the other V6 Exiges on the front row next to me, so really looking forward to the race.
I'm running car number 98 in the production class, and today it's very hot and I'm looking forward for the race.
Just finished qualifying, not done too bad, could be better, but I prefer a race than qualifying, so hopefully he'll do well in the race.
This then how they line up for the first of the race at Hockenheim, with John Walker in pole from Nicolas Ibsen, Gregory Rass and Thierry Verheest. Xavier Georges heading up the 211s in 5th, and Herbert Metzger likewise with the Exiges in 7th. David Harvey to the fore of the open class, well up in 11th position, and Thomas Dehaib taking production pole position in 20th. As ever, gigantic field for Lotus Cup Europe. And Hockenheim, a very different challenge to the one that they faced at Dijon. It's Kiefer Schlois then who rounds out the 25 starters. So get ready for the standing starts here at Hockenheim. Always fun to race to the Grand Prix circuit in car with Dehaib. As away we go from the line. It's a good start from Thomas Dehaib as he moves up through the gears, but immediately converting pole position to the early advantage is John Walker from Gregory Rass. Not such a good start from Nicolas Ibsen. He seems to have been shuffled back through the pack just a little bit as Dehaib catches up with some of the slower 211s, and Exiges picking his way through the first turn. It's Jean-Baptiste Luc, number 55, who's just ahead of him as they sprint towards the hairpin. Dave Carr in the thick of the action as he looks to try and squeeze his way past Philippe Loop along the lengthy back straight. Meanwhile, ahead of the field though, John Walker caught by Gregory Rass as they head into the stadium section of the circuit once more. And Hockenheim, to watch Formula 1 cars on it, you think it's maybe been just a little bit trimmed away from its former glories in the run through the trees. However, it is still an astoundingly quick tempo of speed, and this an opportunity for the drivers really to get their cars up to their absolute maximum speed as they head through the final corner and on to complete lap. Charlotte Burridge in the thick of the action, a little bit lower down the field, fighting for production class podium honours as the leading duo turn into the first turn once more, then being reeled in by the 211s. There's Ibsen in the V6. He has clambered his way up into 5th position after that poor start. After the shot you can see Charlotte Burridge in the thick of the action as we ride in car with Burridge now along the start and finish straight, looking to try and make the move on Jean Potier. Not quite close enough this time around though for Burridge, so she instead though will look to challenge into the first hairpin, and through she goes. Dehaib though leading the way amongst the production runners. He heads out to the second hairpin. Back straight in the meantime, Dave Carp scything his way out through the field, but he was saying in the interview that he normally races a little bit better than he qualifies, and that's certainly proving to be the way. However, a switch for lead the race. It's Gregory Rass who moves clear of Jonathan Walker as they work their way through the stadium once more. It's now Nicolas Ibsen who has elevated himself up into 3rd position, so again form favouring the V6 Cup cars. David Harvey to the fore of the open class. He has got Anthony Fournier just in behind him. It's the leading duo now to the final turn, once more about to embark on another lap. Although Rass has got the advantage, you wonder just for how long, because Jonathan Walker is very, very close in his tail, and all the while the pair of them just being reeled in by Ibsen, who was originally pole position for so much. Session then we've got Jean-Pierre Genin-Prachet, next man through. And there's David Harvey in the unique 340R. Still running in reasonably close contention this stage is Dave Carr. has seen the challenge of a couple of the 211s. Though he may have to repass them. He runs very, very wide through the first turn, rejoins just before the grass starts on the exit. I think he's lost too much ground this stage, as back into lead the race has gone Jonathan Walker, so Walker takes the lead away from Gregory Rass, maybe as they work their way through some of the production class runners, as through the final turn heads Jonathan Walker, the checkered flag ready and waiting, and he claims victory in the first of the Lotus Cup Europe races here at Hockenheim. Second place goes the way of Gregory Rass, and then it's going to be Nicola Gibson who completes the rostrum. So in terms of the overall classification, the win for John Walker from Gregory Rass and Nicola Gibson. Jean-Pierre Genin-Prachet was the first of the 211s in 5th, and Herbert Metzger the first of the Sieges. 7th, David Harvey claiming open honours in 9th. In terms of the group classifications, in the 211s, Jean-Pierre Genin-Prachet victorious from Christophe Lysandre and Sven Pettersson. David Harvey open class honours from Dave Carr and Jan Christie. Siege Cup, Herbert Metzger winning it from Anthony Fournier and Nicolas Ferrer. V6 Cup, same as the top three of the race overall, so Walker from Rass and Gibson. And the production group, Thomas Dehaib victorious, with Laurent Fèvre runner-up, and Charlotte Burridge completing the rostrum.
Well, it went really well today. I had a really lousy qualifying, but then I had a great race, my first podium with that car. 3rd place, really happy. First time on the podium at all in this series, so cheers for that.
First race and a win. This is my first time in Hockenheim. It's pretty technical, so it's not easy to get fast. And so we did testing yesterday and testing this morning, quali. It was okay, good pace, and a win. So until now, it's really good. We'll see tomorrow.
The sun shone for race 2, and this time round it was a rolling start in car with pole sitter John Walker, getting ready for the lights to flash green and go racing here at Hockenheim. Away we go. It's a great start from Walker once more. Ibsen Paul away, and he is going to be overhauled by Rass and possibly Verheest as well as they arrive into the first turn. And Nicholas Ibsen shuffled the way down to 4th position as the rest of the pack all squeeze their way through just through the first corner. Walker and Rass continuing what really has been the enduring battle of this season, the pair of them very much the class of the field, and that's the case in the early stages here in race 2 Hockenheim. Charlotte Burridge, as ever, in the thick of the production class battle, getting a couple of craces off the line, then sprinting on this long back straight. Thomas Dehaib likewise with some of the 211s, very impressive stuff in the early stages of the race from Dehaib. Meanwhile though, the leading duo, Walker and Rass, trying to pull clear of Nicola Gibson, and with a degree of success against Thierry Verheest, who circulates in 4th. Heading from Jean-Pierre Genin-Prachet. Walker and Rass, though, separated by a couple of car lengths, and Walker, well, the form this year has been he's taken the early advantage, then Rass has come back at him, so Walker on this occasion will maybe try and pull clear decisively of Gregory Rass in the early stages of the race. The rest of the field all head through the final turn, lap reeled off, tiptoe their way into the first corner. You've got to be so careful not to run wide at this first corner of Hockenheim. It's very easy to be pitched wide on very slippery AstroTurf, and thereafter it could go spectacularly wrong. Charlotte Burridge has got pretty much a clear road ahead of her, so she'll have no excuse if she gets the first corner all wrong. Takes a couple of bites at the wheel and then clips the curb perfectly on the exit. Maybe gains a little bit of ground on those ahead. Good battle shaping up between Herbert Metzger and Jean-Pierre Genin-Prachet as well for places just outside the top 5 as they head through the hairpin and into the final complex corners again. David Harvey very much to the fore in the open class. Always good to see David's car running reliably as he chases down Philippe Loop. She's just outside the top 10. Further back though, dramas, and it's Xavier Georges snatches a break straight across the gravel trap. Did he make it as far as the barrier? Just. Last lap time then, and the recovering Xavier Georges is being caught by Walker and Rass at just the worst possible moment on the circuit, because through the penultimate corner, when John Walker's stuck behind the 211, he now is able to sprint through, or is he? See the gravel being kicked up, finds the gap, and it gives Rass the opportunity to dive to the inside line. Just the last turn to negotiate, and John Walker back markers. This has really been backed right into the clutch of Gregory Rass, but accelerating to the line, and it is going to be the Hockenheim double for John Walker. Second place goes to Gregory Rass, and again the pair of them a long way clear, and Nikolaj Ibsen in third. This then final result with the win for Walker, Rass in second, and Ibsen completes the podium. Herbert Metzger fifth, winning the Exige Trophy. Jean-Pierre Genuin Prache the first of 211s in seventh, and David Harvey Open winner in 10th. In terms of the group classifications then, the 211s, Jean-Pierre Genuin Prache from Christophe Legendre and Sven Pettersson. The Open group, David Harvey from Dave Carr and Jan Christie. Exige Cup, Herbert Metzger winning it from Nicolas Ferrer and Anthony Fournier. V6 Cup, as per the top three in the race, so John Walker, Gregory Rass and Nikolaj Ibsen. And the production crew won again by Thomas de Haïb from Laurent Fevre and Charlotte Burridge. What does all of that do to the overall classifications then? Well, in the 211 standings, Xavier Georges being chased down by Christophe Legendre and Jean-Pierre Genuin Prache. In the Open group, David Harvey pulling clear of Dave Carr and Kai Kederholm. Exige Cup, Anthony Fournier has been reeled in somewhat by Herbert Metzger. The V6 Cup, likewise John Walker gaining ground on Gregory Rass. And it's a tie for production honours between Laurent Fevre and Thomas de Haïb. So in terms then of the overall standings, well, it's Gregory Rass who leads the way by just 4 points from David Harvey, and Xavier Georges just a solitary point back, with Laurent Fevre and Christophe Legendre and Thomas de Haïb all sharing 4th position. Very competitive. Hard weekend's racing celebrated on the Hockenheim rostrum. Very happy drivers.
We had a fantastic weekend. Everything pretty much perfect. Car was good, car was quick, driver not quite quick enough, but yes, we had a good weekend.
Yeah, another great race. Really enjoyed it. Sort of full house this weekend. Pole, 2 wins, 2 fastest laps, so I'm really pleased.
That's it from Hockenheim. Watch us after the break with action from Oulton Park.